Coming up in just minutes, the U.S. government is trying to get more aid to Ukraine. I'll tell you how much money they're asking to send and what imports they're trying to ban from Russia.
Also, drivers under the influence of multiple drugs now are driving up car crash stats in Colorado. So just ahead, how much these drivers add to this ongoing issue in our state.
Plus, what better way to help the Ukrainian cause than to buy a product that donates its profits and pokes fun at Vladimir Putin? Later on this hour, how other local brands are doing the same thing. Fox 21 Morning News starts right now.
This is Fox 21 Local News right now at 6 a.m.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Fox 21 Local News right now on this Friday, March 4th. I'm Craig Coffey.
And I'm Abby Berg. Thank you so much for joining us live and local this morning. Been enjoying this nice spring-like weather.
It's been a good stretch.
But as we all know, spring is the roller coaster of the weather. So we're going down.
Yeah, we've been trying to get you ready for it all week, right? And it's sort of a challenging forecast to try to communicate in a short period of time here on TV because there's several waves that are going to move through over the weekend. So I'm going to grab the highlights for you and hope you remember that in an hour after you leave the television set. Particularly in the Pikes Peak region. I'll talk about that coming up.
Thanks, Matt. Time right now. It is 6:02 in our top story. As the crisis in Eastern Europe escalates now, more people start to think about giving support to Ukraine. Experts do say that this is the time those scammers start to emerge.
The Pikes Peak Community Foundation is warning people who want to donate to be wary, especially of crowdfunding sites like GoFundMe, where it's difficult to know who you're donating to since sources can't be verified. Other red flags to watch out for include a website asking for a wire transfer or some other non-secure form of payment. But the best defense is simply taking the time to do your research.
These people will need support and rebuilding and care in the long run. So it's okay to take a little bit of time to do your research and make sure the organizations you are wanting to give to will actually support the cause that you are supporting.
Well, for more information about reputable sites or organizations that you can donate through, just go to our website, fox21news.com.
Next, as the war overseas escalates with the bombing of a nuclear power plant early Friday morning, the Biden administration is asking for billions of dollars in aid money to send to Ukraine.
President Biden met with his cabinet on Thursday, and his administration is now asking Congress for $10 billion for Ukraine's humanitarian and security needs. They said that it's given Ukraine $1.4 billion in aid since last year, which has helped that Ukrainian President Zelensky says he is grateful for. But now bipartisan calls are growing in Congress to ban oil imports from Russia. That's a move the administration is hesitant to make.
It's only about 10% of what we're importing. Our focus is making sure that any step we take maximizes the impact on President Putin and minimizes it on the American people.
Banning Russian energy imports would likely push high gas prices even higher.
Well, developing right now and new this morning in Parachute, which is in Garfield County between Palisade and Glenwood Springs. An 11-year-old girl died Thursday while trying to catch her school bus.
According to police, the girl was running to catch her bus when she tripped and fell on the ground as another school bus was moving and she was run over. Parachute Police, Grand Valley Fire, and Garfield County Sheriff's deputies all responded, but the child was pronounced dead at the scene. The Colorado State Patrol Vehicular Crimes Unit is now investigating this incident.
All right, next now. Several state agencies say driving under the influence of multiple substances is fueling car crashes here in Colorado.
According to the Colorado Department of Transportation, 1 in 3 traffic fatalities involved an impaired driver this past year. And a recent study by the Colorado Division of Criminal Justice found 45% of the 26,000 impaired driving cases filed in 2019 involved a driver who tested positive for multiple substances.
When analyzing polyimpaired driving, researchers found a combination of alcohol and marijuana were the most common, then followed by alcohol and other drugs, which does include cocaine, methamphetamines, or opioids.
So let's say you've had one beer and half an edible. The research is clear that it's not safe to drive. So get a rideshare, call a friend, wait until you're sober, just stay where you're at. Technologically, there's never been a better time to find a safe way home that doesn't involve driving your own vehicle.
The latest report comes after 2021 was the deadliest year on Colorado roads since 2002, with 691 deaths. Fatal crashes in the state have gone up 50% since 2011.
All right, new this morning, Colorado now one of the worst states for auto theft per capita, according to the annual data assessment of car thefts from the Colorado Auto Theft Prevention Authority Metropolitan Auto Theft Task Force. Yeah, it's a big one. They do a lot of research there. Car thefts have increased 83% statewide.
The data also shows that vehicle recovery rates are high. However, the thieves are not always caught. Officers say the type of theft happening in Colorado is different when compared to other states because there is a subculture of thieves who are homeless drug users who steal cars to use as living rooms before they ditch them for a new shelter.
Officers also say thieves have learned how to steal specific vehicles, including Kias and Hyundais, as well as pickup trucks made by Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge.
In a Fox 21 traffic alert new this morning, both east and westbound lanes of Austin Bluffs Parkway near North Union Boulevard are currently closed due to a deadly motorcycle accident, and the investigation is likely to impact the morning commute. Colorado Springs police responded to the scene just after 2 o'clock this morning on Austin Bluffs Parkway east of the North Union Boulevard intersection. Officers say the accident involved just one motorcycle and the rider died from his injuries. The department's major crash team has responded and taken over the investigation. Eastbound Austin Bluffs is closed at Union, and westbound Austin Bluffs is closed at Goldenrod Drive. The roadway is expected to be closed for several hours while investigators process the scene, and drivers are being asked to avoid the area.
All right, 6:07 now, and the latest as crews say the wildland fire in Pueblo County is now 72% contained. It started Wednesday on Huerfano Road in Avondale, and currently the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office still says no structures are threatened as this fire has burned about 230 acres.
Happening today and new this morning, Barry Morphew will be back in court for a motions hearing. He's accused of killing his wife Suzanne in 2020, though her body has not been found.
Earlier this week, Morphew's attorneys asked a judge to dismiss his murder charges. They say the prosecution withheld a massive amount of evidence before his prelim hearing, and they believe probable cause would not have been found. This includes an interview with a CBI investigator who said his arrest was premature and, quote, the worst decision that could be made.
So far, there is no word on whether the judge will rule on that motion today, and Morphew's trial is scheduled to start in May.
All right, new this morning, a local restaurant is revealing now how close it is to closing its doors if customers don't return to eat there.
In a recent Facebook post, the Green Line Grill thanked its customers for their support for nearly a decade, but said things could be changing for the worse, adding if people don't eat there, the restaurant will not be here next month.
Yeah, social media users filled the comment section with promises to stop by the business as soon as possible. And Fox 21 has reached out to the Green Line Grill to learn more about the situation, so we'll update you once we know more.
They have great burgers.
That's what it's known for.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's an intimate place. It's small, but fun.
Really good.
Yeah.
And some good news this morning. A well-known Paralympian from Colorado Springs was named one of the opening ceremony flag bearers for Team USA at the 2022 Winter Paralympics. Paralympic skier Tyler Carter is one of 10 athletes that will represent Colorado during the Winter Games. You may remember last summer when Carter hosted an exercise session for families visiting the Olympic and Paralympic Museum. The Paralympic Winter Games kick off today.
Well, that's great, and congratulations to him for sure. All right, now some more good news for Chipotle fans, as the Mexican grill lovers in Colorado Springs will soon get their fix without leaving the car.
Maybe we should. I'm just saying, it's a lot of calories. Today, the chain will open a new restaurant featuring the city's first Chipotle lane.
Hey.
It's a drive-through pickup lane, which allows customers to pick up digital orders without leaving their cars.
So where is it? That's the big question. Well, you can find this now at the new Chipotle lane. That's going to be at Democracy Point, near the southeast corner of the intersection of Interquest and Voyager.
There you go. Time right now is 6:10, and you might not be able to punch Putin, but that doesn't mean you can't dream about it over a cold soda.
All right, later on this hour, the new Putin Punch flavored soda and how this will benefit Ukrainians.
Also, it's been a rough year for the Colorado College Tigers hockey team, but they're hoping to cap off their season on a high note.
Yes, on the way in sports, how the team is approaching its senior week and gearing up to play their final game today. But first, here's Matt.
Welcome to the Weekend Cruise Ski Report, brought to you by Monarch Mountain, with some high clouds overhead yesterday afternoon, if it's a little squirrely for a couple hours.
Matt, thanks so much. Time right now is 6:49, and Colorado now ranks as one of the worst states for car theft.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, just after 7 o'clock, and new this morning, the latest data from experts and why they say thefts may differ here than from other places.
Plus, if you're thinking about donating to help Ukrainians amid the ongoing war, you need to be on the lookout for scammers.
It's also just after 7 o'clock, advice on how you can stay aware and get your donations to the right place.